How did you score it, Claude?
I gave the round to Lesley. Quality shots, good right uppercuts on the target.
So there's Butch Lesley's last 3 fights then. I was there for all of those. Well, let's just see if we can locate that clash of heads that caused the cut. That's the uppercut. It was certainly shortly after this, wasn't it? No, unfortunately not there. Not to worry. Well, referee McDonald, they're just telling both fighters to watch their heads as we come out for the second round of a scheduled 12. And, well, I've got a feeling that cut's going to be a factor in this fight. Well, they've not managed to stop the cut. It's a vertical cut in the corner of the eyebrow, near the nose. And that's probably the worst place to be cut, isn't it?
Trouble with a fighter like Keaton, he gets cut, you can't really stop a man with a style like his from getting too involved. It's just natural for him to go forward. Yes,
and 2 great characters, these, outside the ring as well, and it's just a shame really to see one of them's got to lose. And it's been a while since I've seen Keaton in action. As I say, I've seen most of Butch's recent fights, trained by Tony Sims and Terry Stewart, and I think they've got him in great shape. I think they've really got him up to cruiserweight and looking very, very healthy.
Well, I think Lesley's got some damage to his left eye now.
Well, that's a fact. And once again, a clash of heads there from both lads. Butch Lesley just pouring at that eye. I'm not sure if it is cut, but yes, it is. Yes, it is. Or is it?
Yeah, definitely cut in the corner, Steve.
Right, so there you are then. A very physical fight, this one, between these two. Yes, it is. It's not a bad one, and unfortunately for Lesley, it's not in a particularly dangerous place. If you can say a cut's not dangerous, it's in the left-hand corner of the eye, on the outside of the eye, unlike Keaton's, of course, which is bleeding right down the middle of his face. And in case you're wondering, by the way, all fighters throughout the world are age-tested in the event of them having the infection, so there's no danger of any of these boxers, especially for a title fight. Of course, they're all age-tested before title fights. There's no danger of any of these guys having any kind of blood infection of that nature. Not that I've always thought, you know, what's the point? You always bleed out, you don't bleed in, do you?
Yeah, I think we're talking about the transmission of blood and maybe getting into another man's system. I think that's the concern.
But it doesn't sound particularly likely, does it?
I think the likelihood of it happening is very remote, and I think it's something to do with the temperature of the blood as well. Once it's come out of your system, it loses heat, and therefore it can't transmit any disease. But I'm no expert, Steve. So,
well, Keaton looking a wee bit demoralised out there. Just that look of resignation on his face, that maybe he's finding this one a real uphill struggle. Butch Lesley boxing pretty well, and Keaton forced to keep wiping that blood away from his eye, and that's going to be a factor later, I'm sure. Well, Claude, once again, your expert opinion there. Keaton's, Lesley's round?
I gave the round to Keaton.
Okay.
I thought Lesley had a good finish to the round, but Keaton was generally doing the better aggressive work.
So there you are then. And Mick Williamson, of course, the ace cuts man, always called in the event of an injury like this, and he'll take care of that. Of course, some cuts you just can't heal.
I think Lesley's got a cut high on his forehead as well. So that's three cuts now.
So into round 3 then of this scheduled 12 rounder for the WBF Cruiserweight title, and no gum shield there for Buster. So a fairly physical fight so far. As Claude said, 2 cuts on Lesley's head. one on the eye, one on the forehead, and of course that nasty cut on the eye, the right eye of Buster Keaton. But still, well, now it looks even worse, Claude, the left eye. Is that another cut? I think it is. Couple of bulls, these two, aren't they?
I'm surprised Leslie's put his right uppercut away, which worked so well in the first round. I think there's great opportunity for him to catch Keaton coming in with that right uppercut through the middle, but he's just not throwing the punches.
Oh, lovely. Nice combination there, quick. Yes, you're right about Lesley. That's one of his pet punches, in fact, that right uppercut. And there it is, lovely shot. Got to say that Keaton's pretty battle-hardened, isn't he, over the years?
Oh, he's had some tremendous fights, Keaton.
Could you give me your most memorable?
Well, I think his performance when he knocked Kelly Oliver out was quite impressive. Probably the best victory on his record.
He was so fired up for that, wasn't he?
And
well, looks like Lesley might just be getting on top, but Keaton looking pretty irrepressible here. Just marching forward, no finesse about him at all. Just wants to get close and bang away. But in doing so, not everything is landed, and a lovely little fast combination there again from Butch Lesley. I do like the way he does that. I'm so jealous. That was something I could never, well, one of the many things I could never do. And I really do admire a fighter with fast hands, and Lesley's got those.
I think the weight advantage is starting to tell here. He's got Lesley on the back foot constantly, and Lesley's finding it difficult to make his jab work. He's finding it difficult to throw his punches or to time his punches properly.
Yes, a 7-pound weight difference at the weigh-in. Butch Lesley coming in just over 13 stone, and Buster Keaton coming in right on the cruiserweight limit. Well, time out here for a lecture from Marcus McDonald. Just trying to make sure that there's no further damage, of course, caused by the heads. And it's not a dirty fight, is it? There's no malicious intent there. It's just one of those bruising physical fights, Claude.
I just think when you get styles like this, especially someone like Keaton who does tend to walk forwards with his head down, it's inevitable you're going to get clashes.
Well, decent round. Who for?
Again, I thought Keaton just worked consistently throughout the round.